those verses from chapter 6 of the Revelation of John. And I'm going to read to you verses from chapter 7 of the Revelation of John. And if you want to read along with me, I'm reading from the same Bible that you had in the pew. After this, I looked, and there was a great multitude that no one could count, from every nation, from all tribes and peoples and languages, standing before the throne and before the Lamb, robed in white, with palm branches in their hands. They cried out in a loud voice, saying, "Salvation belongs to our God, who is seated on the throne, and to the Lamb." And all the angels stood around the throne and around the elders and the four living creatures, and they fell on their faces before the throne and worshipped God, saying, "Amen! Blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and might be to our God forever and ever. Amen." Then one of the elders addressed me, saying, "Who are these robed in white, and where have they come from?" I said to him, "Sir, you are the one that knows." Then he said to me, "These are they who have come out of the great ordeal. They have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. For this reason they are before the throne of God, and worship him day and night within his temple. The one who is seated on the throne will shelter them. They will hunger no more and thirst no more, and the sun will not strike them, nor any scorching heat. For the Lamb at the center of the throne will be their shepherd. And he will guide them to the springs of the water of life, and God will wipe away every tear from their eyes." Thus ends the reading of the word. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be just so much easier for humans to cope with the stresses and strains of life if our villains and our heroes were clearly defined before us? Wouldn't it be? Don't we love it when they are? When we absolutely know who the bad guys are and who the good guys are. It's kind of like, couldn't the world just be like a comic strip? Because you know, and I know, that how many of you love Superman? Or a couple of you love Superman. Or Batman. Some of you like Batman. Okay, well, we're going to review them all. Superman. Everybody knows Superman is a superhero who comes from another planet. And we know that because he's a superhero and comes from another planet, that he has a variety of enemies. There are a variety of villains for Superman. They are not only human, like Lex Luthor, but they are also otherworldly, like General Zod. And they're even mineral, like that looming green crystal kryptonite, which we know will render Superman powerless. We know, however, why do we know that Superman is good? We know that Superman is good. Well, I suppose if we just looked at him and saw him in that blue onesie, you know, with the red cape and the red boots and that red S on his chest, we'd go, that's a fashion statement. But we wouldn't know if he was good or evil, would we? We would only know that he is a hero by his actions, by what he does. He does good. Lex Luthor does bad. Very clear. Thank you very much. We like that. Batman is dressed all in black. He's a dark hero. He's not superhuman, but he's filthy rich. And he uses all of his resources to do what he believes and what he sees is good in Gotham City. And his villains, his enemies, are very clearly marked. You can tell they've either had some sort of horrible accident happen to them, so it's clear that, you know, by their disfigurement, that they are a villain, I guess, the Joker. and Two-Face, very, very clearly enemies of Batman. There are others like Catwoman and the Riddler and Mr. Freeze and the Penguin and the Mad Hatter. We know exactly who these comic book villains are. The artists, thank heaven, have clearly designated them by their colors and their costumes as to who's bad and who's good. The obvious bad guys do bad things. The obvious good guys do good things. And have great cars and gadgets. But, so we have Superman and we have Batman. Superman, superhuman. Batman, human. Filthy rich. How many of you followed Dick Tracy? Oh, yeah. Now, Dick Tracy's just a plain old ordinary cop. But Dick Tracy was that hero of comic strip fame. And Dick Tracy had all sorts of fabulous gadgets. The former day cell phone on his wrist. The radio phone. But he also had very plain villains who were his enemies. The mole, the rodent, Flyface, Flat-Top Jones, Mumbles, he was in the movies, a whole list of people that were his enemies. And he foiled them. They always did bad